All right, good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com, coming to you from the Arctic Air Studios. That's right, if your air is not Arctic enough in the summer and too Arctic in the winter, you know what to do. Call the Bear, callthebear.com. All right, coming to you a little bit early tonight. We've got high school football activities later on this evening. It is time for your Tech TCU score predictions. They have released the upcoming schedules for Big 12 football. Tech has no permanent rivals, and that's okay. All right, jump in on the United Supermarkets tech line 806-772-0197, your tailgating headquarters that you could be laying in provisions tonight at your local United. Also brought to you by McAlpin Chiropractic, Great Red Raider, the official chiropractor of Raiderland, and by the Reserve, a culinary tavern. You could go there tomorrow afternoon on your way to the game. And then this weekend, since you don't have a game, brunch at the Reserve. The talking box is indeed on. All right, you guys know what to do. The early arrivals, give us hearts, thumbs up, all that sort of good stuff. Let us know the video's good, the audio is good, and then we get underway and we tarry on today. In 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com. You start the day there. Raiderland hot links, our question of the day. You can answer that and all the original content you will find, including our 60 seconds of Raiderland commentary that appears a couple of times a week there. TheRaiderland.com here in the Arctic Air Studios. We visit with you tonight. Variety of subjects. We want to get your Texas Tech TCU score predictions. Feels weird doing that on a Wednesday. Indeed, it does. But hold on, product price placement. We got to do it on a Wednesday because the game's tomorrow, and we still hate Thursday games, and still not a fan of this being a Thursday game. And will it hurt attendance? Yeah, among other things. But just Thursday games, no place in college football or Big 12 football. Also, the schedule has been released. No permanent opponent. I think only 4 permanent opponents over the next 4 years exist. All of the Big 12. Texas Tech does not have what we would call a designated permanent rival, and that's okay. That's okay by my estimation. The schedule is varied. It's different. It's interesting. It's what you wanted. And you can't just sit there and tell me all of a sudden that, holy cow, we're not going to play Baylor every year, but it's the longest running series in Texas. And you can't come back and tell me today that you care about Baylor. And you've never cared about Baylor. You haven't. In all years of playing back, you've never cared about Baylor. So don't sit there and go, I can't believe they're going to end that long-standing rivalry. No, I'm not going to buy that from you today. Hey, there's Celia. Hey there, Chris. Peyton is getting in tonight. I'll give you my score prediction here in just a moment. We do want to pass along our condolences to the Bob Knight family. Rest in peace, indeed, Damon, right there. 83 years old. The announcement today coming from his family that he had succumbed to, I wouldn't say multiple illnesses, but we'd kind of been waiting for this day for the last couple of years. It had been a long and winding road for Coach Knight over the last several years. Pretty severe decline over the last 2, one would say. And the announcement today that Bob Knight, former Texas Tech coach, former Indiana coach, passing away. We'll talk about that more maybe Friday or on into the weekend. We might delve into that a little bit more than just tonight. But yeah, and indeed the news that we'd all kind of not to say been waiting for. That's not the right term. Prepared for is a better term of terminology for that. And I'll just caution Texas Tech fans, be wary, because his time at Texas Tech is going to be treated for the most part as a footnote in the life and times of Bob Knight. The Texas Tech fans, maybe going, well, why aren't they talking more about it's going to be Bob Knight in Indiana. Then when I pass, bury me upside down so my critics can kiss my ass. I don't know if they'll do that or not. We'll find out. Alan jumping in. All right, let's get some score predictions in. Again, not a tremendous amount of time to hang out tonight, but we wanted to get in with the time we had. So let's maximize it. Let's get score predictions tomorrow for Texas Tech and TCU. Texas Tech, a 3-point favorite in this game. The total's right at 59.5. You get Behren Morton back for Texas Tech. TCU has had their struggles as well. I think both programs looking at this as a disappointing year for different reasons, but all the same at the end of the day. So what happens in this one? Allen going with TCU right off the bat, 30-17, rolling in on a Thursday night, taking it to the Red Raiders. I do have this one as a dead under. And you've got one of the scores right. You got one of those team totals right on my prediction here, Alan. We're just going to change it up a little bit. These two teams, 5-10 to the under this year. So anytime they get together, they have failed to exceed the expected point capacity given by the really smart guys. And I think you're going to see that again. This, I believe, Texas Tech coming off the open date, still going to be a disjointed game. I don't think this is going to be anything like a masterpiece of football. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be painful. I do think Tech will win. And against maybe my better judgment, I'm going 23-17. Somebody just put 24-17. Chris going 24-17. I'll go Texas Tech 23-17. I think both teams will look at this at the end of the night. Well, obviously one of them won't. But the losing team, and it could easily be Tech losing 23-17. Both teams will look at this and go, wow, we didn't maximize opportunities. We didn't do this. We didn't do that. You didn't do that because that's who you've been this year. You've been teams that haven't been able to generate turnovers. You've been teams that haven't been able to force the issue. And I don't see that really changing these final four games. I think Texas Tech is who it is this year. I don't expect dramatic changes. I see nothing that indicates that Texas Tech is about to go on some sort of magical run to end the season. I certainly don't see that for TCU. Peyton has a 45-41. I think that's way too high scoring in this game. So it'll probably be that. This game, talking about the series, even though a year or two is about as far back now, I think, as you can realistically go in college football anymore and say that might have some bearing on it. But it has been a bit of a hard one to judge. You've seen everything in between from high scoring, low scoring, and you name it. So we'll see. But I will, against probably by better judgment, go with Texas Tech. Who's playing quarterback? Behren Morton playing quarterback. Been throwing the football in practice. They're trying a new deal. It's really exciting. They've tried a new strategy now for the last week or so. They're going to let Behren Morton throw in practice. So, yeah, Morton will be at the controls. Now, we say this, that he is the healthiest he has been since taking over during that West Virginia game in relief of the injured Tyler Shough, and then he himself gets injured in that game. So for whatever that may mean, we will see the healthiest, we think, the healthiest Behren Morton. I just don't know what that'll mean. I don't know what that impact's going to be. Will that cut down on potential interceptions? You certainly hope so. I don't think it means that you start running the quarterback more with design quarterback runs or anything else. That shouldn't be the case to me. So I don't think that's going to be a different wrinkle. They moved Wilburn to center. They moved Stats to guard. So they announced that change last week as Stats dealing with an injury. Ryan, after the last 2 weeks, we know why they were willing to roll with Morton, Behren on no break. Yeah, absolutely. That the gap between Morton and the young strong was significant enough to go, yeah, we're gonna take Morton even though he's injured. CJ going to go 38-31. So I'll roll 23-17 Texas Tech. Dead to the under. This could be an easy field goal game, easy way. Either way, that's a 3-point cover for Texas Tech. I don't like that either. All year, low snaps, don't get it. I agree. Unless he had some sort of injury all year that we don't know about that they've hidden from us. And that would be against, not Tech policy, but just against how Joey McGuire operates. So, I don't know if he was not able to handle everything required of being a center at this level. Maybe so. Did another RIP for Coach Knight, passing away age 83. We'll have more thoughts and discussions on that as the week goes through. the announcement being made a little less than an hour ago that he had passed away. So we have as anybody who was ever around Bob Knight for any amount of time has a few stories, some of them actually true. Run the ball with Brooks. You know, the run over those hot. Hot what? I'll do a Cyclone Larry type of bet. If Tech scores over 35 tomorrow, I don't know that anybody wants you to do a Cyclone Larry bet. Will Hammond surpass Morton next year, or is this Morton's team guaranteed? Nothing's guaranteed. I think Morton will be the odds-on favorite because if he's healthy and experience-wise, yeah, that we've seen how hard it is for freshmen of any caliber to come in and unseat seasoned players just about anywhere, including Texas Tech. So no, I don't see it just being there you go, it's yours. I do see it as if he's healthy, that he would have the experience and that I don't think it's a good thing, let me put it this way, if a true freshman comes in and unseats Behren Morton next year. I don't think that would be a good situation. No matter how much you think of Hammond, because people thought the same thing of Behren Morton. Yeah, I don't know what the Cyclone Larry. I don't know. That's good. I don't think we want to see that. Tech has no permanent rivals, and that's okay. I knew whenever the Big 12 was going to announce the schedule module, people were going to hate it. I don't have any major problem with it, because if you had told me that the Big 12 had designated X going forward as Tech's permanent rival, I would have been like, I think the biggest case might have been made for an Oklahoma State to be Tech's, quote, rival, and they're no more your rival than TCU, Baylor, and certainly Houston. I had somebody tell me earlier today, what do you think the odds are that Tech told the Big 12, no way in hell we want Houston as a permanent rival? I said, absolutely. I could see Texas Tech saying, we don't want that. We would rather not have a permanent, and that's okay. That's part of the deal of the new Big 12. You cannot celebrate and embrace the new Big 12 and say, better off without you, Oklahoma and Texas, and then bemoan the fact that you don't have, quote, a permanent rival. That walked out the door, even though you were never truly rivals with Texas and A&M, because they weren't your rival back. You really just hadn't had a rival. So that's okay. Those things are overblown to an extent, but you can have morphine changing rivals. You need to embrace the NFL mindset. The Dallas Cowboys have had 25 different rivalries over the years, depending on who was good at a given time. In the 60s, they hated the Packers. They didn't hate the Packers in the 70s and 80s because the Packers sucked. Then it was the Niners for a while. In the 70s, the Browns even. Then it was the Steelers. Then it was the Niners again. Then it was the Giants and the Redskins. You get the idea. The idea needs to be, hate the good teams that you're going to play and beat them. So some teams do have a permanent rival and some don't. Yeah, there are, I think, 4 protected rivalries: Arizona State, Utah, BYU, Oklahoma. Hold on. Who am I missing? Somebody else. I can't remember who that is right now. I don't know if I have that pulled up in front of me or not. I don't have it. I don't have the other ones. There were a couple, but not many. Run over those horny toads. Well, I liked it when you were running over the hot. Coach Prime coming to Lubbock next year. Or is he? Yeah, Kansas State. Sorry, I don't know why I didn't get that one in there. So, but you cannot make a lock case. And Baylor TCU goes back, to the oldest days of the Southwest Conference before you were in it. Michigan, Ohio State. Big 12. Big 12, Chris. Stay with us. See, I don't have a problem with it. I like the idea that and for the most part, the teams that you're talking about, you play 3 of them out of the 4 years anyways. What is it? 3 games over the 4-year stretch, a year against Baylor, Houston, Oklahoma State, TCU. Bring the new blood in. Go on the road to new places. That's the point of the new Big 12. But I knew as soon as it was released that somebody would say, Big 12 rivalries. You don't have a permanent rival. You don't need one. Embrace the idea that you don't have one, because you know what? You don't have one. It doesn't exist. I'll still maintain that it was one-sided for the most part. Certainly in football, a little different in a few other sports. But in football, Texas and A&M were never your rival because they never rivaled you back. All right? They never rivaled you back. They didn't care. Sorry. All right, get your Tech TCU score predictions in before we got to get out of here tonight. Not going to go too long. I got a big pile of wood I got to go watch burn. That is not a euphemism. It's not. Hey, if you dig the shirts we get and you see us in here on the broadcast, you need to go to Boot City, One Money Saving Mile outside the West Loop. They've got a slew of new ones in. You may see donning them in the coming days here on the broadcast. What you really need to go by, check out their jackets. If you need just a light, light to medium Western style jacket, they've got a ton and a lot of Hey Dudes on sale right now. I need to send my son out there. They've got all the sizes, including 13 in the Hey Dudes. No Farmageddon every year either. No, not going to have Iowa State and Kansas State every year. And life will go on, David says they were your rival, but you weren't their rival. It needs to be mutual hate. Absolutely. Or, as I say, you need to take the NFL model and hate the one you're with. Hate the teams that are good at a given time. Right? Hate Kansas State, even though you're not going to play them all the time, but hate them because you can't beat them. Chris, I can't find ways to sports hate all the teams in the Big 12. Oh, there's something. There's always going to be something there. We can gin up hate, sports hate, fake sports hate easily. That can be done. Hey, Craig, hope you're still enjoying your time in the mountains. If you're still up there, hope you're still enjoying it. Chris is aging himself. Don't worry, it happens whether you do it or not. No readers. Who is a dude in cowboy hat in the picture behind you? That is Joe Ely and his inaugural coming of age original solo album, the self-titled Joe Ely album, with artist Paul Milosevic doing the artwork on that. Got some charcoal burning and Brat's cooking. A little windy to get a backyard fire going this evening. Yeah, we're going to have more than a backyard fire going. It's bonfire time. Looks young there. He was young there. He was still in his 20s there in 1977. Yeah, I believe that album was released in 1977. Chris is either real old or a youngin. Referring to? Not sure. My score 23-17 Texas Tech tomorrow. I think it's a dead under. The schedule is fine to me within the Big 12. This is what you people wanted. You can't gripe when you get what you want. Wish they played Texas teams and OSU for driving distance roads game. Okay, that's great. And I'm going to ask you this, Ryan. Do you go to every Texas Tech road game? And I don't know where you call home. And maybe you do. Maybe you go to every Texas Tech road game right now and have been for years. And if that's the case, more on you. Most people don't. Most don't. So I get it. But at the same time, why? If you did that, you have the old Southwest Conference plus OSU. I don't want that. That wasn't what I wanted. I want to play Arizona State. I want to play BYU, Colorado. I want to play those teams. In DFW, so it's close to you. Yeah, I get it. You're in DFW. See, okay, there's your problem. You're in DFW. If you're out here, you'd be used to driving like 5-6 hours all the time to go in. You're spoiled in DFW. Now, you have the equivalent of a 5-hour drive to go the distance of 30 miles. I get that. Yeah. Just saw the news, Coach Knight. Don't know if this is new news or if it broke earlier in the day. About an hour ago, a little less maybe, about an hour ago, it was announced that he had passed away at age 83. We'll have more discussions on that in the coming days. David says, visiting ticket allotment is about 3,000 tickets. In the nosebleeds, most don't go. Yeah. Or they certainly don't buy the Tech tickets when they go. 77 and 78 in the Kiss Army in Van Halen Attic. Van Halen, the original Van Halen 1. Van Halen 2, fair warning, women and children first. Had your Kiss Army card, ready to rock and roll, Detroit Rock City. Kiss Alive, It's Alive 2, Destroyer. Good music. Got to drive an hour to find a Walmart. People don't understand. Yeah. Oh, and it's Bandwagon Wednesday. I kind of forgot to mention that. So maybe like 5 more minutes left. If you've got bandwagons, you're on. Bandwagons, you're off. We're not giving the Rangers straight up Texas their due tonight. We should. This World Series thing is easy. Texas should have won a passel of them before now. I don't know why it's so hard. Huge, easy win last night by Ranger standards. I won't be shocked if the Diamondbacks come back and get one tonight. This road streak for the Rangers is ridiculous. Can't continue, right? 24-21 TCU. I've got a 23-17 Tech. And trying to handicap this thing, good luck. Good luck. I know a lot of sharp people think this is a night that the Diamondbacks do come back and get the win. I will say, though, this proves to me that Bruce Bochy is one of the best managers in baseball in the last 25 years. He has taken a team that is at least a year ahead of schedule and is on the verge of winning a World Series. We know to never underestimate the Rangers' ability to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, as Stacey says. So it'll be over when it's over. But this, to me, is a testament to Bruce Bochy and rejecting analytics and just being a smart old baseball dude and doing baseball stuff and getting a mix of young and new stars, overcoming countless injuries during the regular season, maintaining an edge for this team into the postseason, and the vagaries of baseball. And it continues to be the lowest rated baseball World Series, the history of baseball World Series. The last 2 games prior to last night were 1 and 2, and last night will probably be right in there too. So nobody paying attention. That's fine. That's fine. We don't care. Don't see the D-backs sweeping the remaining games. I'd be surprised, but you never know. Damon's a dead under with me, 21-17 Tech. Bochy has strung this team together, baling wire and duct tape in true Texan fashion. The most Texan thing you've done this week, maybe the most Texan thing he's done in his career. Amen on Bochy. He's good. He's damn good. He's just an old school manager that it's, he doesn't overmanage. He doesn't undermanage. And for a guy with vast National League experience, and of course now both leagues with the DH, but anyways, you have seen a tendency of longtime NL managers struggle in the AL. They wanted to overmanage. They wanted to outthink the game because in the old NL, you were paid to outthink the game starting in the 6th inning, 7th inning. Now it's a little bit different. It's not so much he demands production and respect. The respect is he's a professional. He demands professionalism. He understands the old school professionalism of the game. A lot of these guys, the Woodards of the world and other younger, different managers, it's hard for them without skins on the wall or a playing career, and he had both, to have that kind of gun behind the door respect. And Bochy had it. And Bochy had it when he walked in the locker room. He didn't have to really, he earned it, I assume, day to day, but he came in with that respect. There's a lot to be said for that. That's why some of my favorite young coaches are old coaches now. If you'd asked me 20, 25 years ago, oh, yeah, young guys, more young guys, these old guys. Now that I'm an old guy, I kind of like the old guys. You know what? I think young guys kind of like the old guys too. Look at the NFL. Guys like Staley, different younger coaches, Daniels, God rest his soul as a coach. What an NFL business Hall of Fame Daniels is, getting fired again. What a just rape, plunder, and pillage the bank that guy is as a front. You know what? I kind of think younger players, younger people, they like the older guys too. So we'll see. It'd be great if the Rangers get it done tonight. I won't be shocked if they don't. Why not? More baseball, right? It is the November Classic. Why not play into November? Young guys are all trying like Hades to get to be the old guys. Well, that's the key. You want to get to be an old guy if you're a young guy. All right, last chance around the horn one more time. 23-17 Tech. That's my prediction. We'll have Raiderland Rewind with you tomorrow night after the game. So whenever that thing wraps up tomorrow night, we'll be with you with a quick wrap up one way or the other. More thoughts on Bob Knight in the coming days as he passes away today at age 83. Rangers schedules, all sorts of stuff. Check the website tomorrow, either or Thursday. We'll throw out a few more things. We'll have great stuff. I hope you guys are enjoying the Raiderland Hot Links. If you are, thumbs up or whatever there. That'd be cool. I like putting together. It's cool finding different stuff, throwing it out there. And if you guys see some stuff that you hadn't seen or find a little link. Today, there's a really cool Texas Tech put out about 6 days ago, Centennial hour-long program on the history of Tech. I'm about 35 minutes in, so I've caught up to where I was when I got to Tech, basically. And you need to give it a look. It's really cool. That I say there's very few things I think I can. No, that's arrogant. I'm surprised when I learn different new things regarding historical stuff. And this one has dug up some historical stuff that even I wasn't aware of regarding Texas Tech. So that's a hat tip to those guys for being able to do that. That's really cool. All right, you guys are the best. We got to say goodbye on YouTube and on our friends on Twitter. So we have to hit in stream. Do we want to?